Are far away. So Rye Beaumont, I have quite a different story to these guys because I actually had nothing to do with property until 2019. So my dad did own some properties. He had a brokerage back in the city, but he's always really been in finance and raising finance for private equity, family offices, and stuff like that in London. I was actually in music before, being a jack of all trades, tried loads of different businesses, always wanted to just make money. Not, I don't have a specific desire for money, but just love the idea that I could do shit with my time and have independence with my own purchasing power, which I recognized when I was a kid, because we went through a family went through a bit of a rough patch. Um, and we didn't really have much money. So I was like, if I want shit, I'm gonna have to make my own money and get shit. So sold sweets in school, all the stories you can imagine, dog walking, newspapers, tried everything, and did make a few grand doing it. And back then, a few grand was not only worth a bit more, but also as a kid, what do you have money? You don't have anything to spend it on. So I just bought loads of pets and remote control cars and other shit, and then eventually realized to save up the money. Always been quite studious. I don't like education, which is slightly different to Dorian, but I do like proactive education, and I do think some of the stuff Dorian's done is obviously good. It's different kind of education than school, but I just couldn't get along with school, couldn't get along with college. Loved being there, a place to see your mates every day. I thought that was cool, but didn't want to stick around. So I got out of school as quick as possible and just went on to try and figure out what to do with my time, really. And then got into music. I had no music background, but just taught myself how to sing. I think I was lucky that I could sing. Well, that's down to interpretation. I think I can sing.
We'll have a test on that later.
Yeah, well, we'll do a sing off, guys, at the end of the pod.
Yeah.
So stick around, tune in. But yeah, so got into the music industry and wanted to make the biggest boy band in the world.
And together over the years, we went from like 50 tickets in Hoxton Square Garden to Shepherd's Bush Empire.
That was the plan, and I mean, we did pretty fucking well, to be fair. We were technically the biggest independent band in the world, which was not an easy thing to do. It took a hell of a lot of sacrifice, really. Saw my family maybe once or twice a year. Missed my little brothers growing up, which is probably one of my biggest regrets. But I knew that there's only one way to make a band work, and you've just got to work so much harder than every other band and every other influencer. There's so many other people trying it. So we lived in a one-bed council flat to start with. It is that day in road trip camp. The bunk beds have arrived. We are getting ready to gut the room. We're just going to take everything out and then paint the walls and all that kind of stuff so that we can live in it with 5 of us soon. So there's a story there we could go to another time. But yeah, basically hard, grueling, built that up. And then towards the end of that band, there was some feuds building amongst members and also with management. And I was the driver, so I managed the band internally, really. Even though we had a manager, it just wasn't really around. So I drove the business commercially and realized vlogging it, doing this, doing that. We had all our tours and other things to figure out, merchandise.
Still stumbling.
Loads of things, and I was just getting a bit sick of it. I was like, oh, we're reinvesting all this money. I'm not making fucking anything, and I could be making a lot more, but the manager's stopping us from doing a few bits. So I was just started to look at other options in life. And to be fair, I was always reading books, always looking at. I started an app, tried an app, which we could talk about at some point. I did think it was a sick idea. It was an AI-driven app, so hence my obsession with AI. I've been following it for about 7 years now, since I started R&Ding that app and realized just how groundbreaking this tech was. As the band sort of came to an end, the pandemic came around and killed one of our main revenue streams, which was touring, so ticket sales and live merch. And it was just perfect timing, really, because we'd just done a big show in London at Shepherd's Bush. We headlined Shepherd's Bush, and that was my sort of goal from the start. I wanted to do Shepherd's Bush, the first step on your way to doing arenas. It's quite a prestigious venue. Finished on a highlight and just went, you know what? let's just stop this. I'd already got into property by that point and bought a pub, which is probably not the best idea as the first project. And then me and my dad just realized we could productize this thing in development, and if we could do a specific strategy like HMOs or commercial to resi up in the northeast, we can retain the assets and sell our services on a yield basis. And we knew that it would work eventually, but without having a lot of, well, any property experience from the development side, we knew it would be a bit of a grueling battle. So it's taken us, the guts of like 5 years now to get to where we are. But it was about a year ago, about a year and 3 months ago, start of last year, where we went, let's flip our model. Rather than build our own portfolio and joint ventures, let's build a development service for investors and people who want to be armchairs, but they want good yields and they want someone else to do all the work. And yeah, we built that up nicely. So we've got 35 staff, including our lads on site. Just hired another girl on the lettings yesterday, and like Jack, we like folding everything in. So if it can be applicable and be a beneficial revenue stream that complements our existing business, then we'll give it a crack. So we've got construction, lettings, sourcing, and project management. We do service apartments as well, but kind of like lettings. And then recently released a course on how to do HMOs. I wouldn't say it's an educational business. It's just here's our knowledge in a modularized format, and that is myself, and I'm in the northeast.
Company name?
Beaumont and Partners. So we've got Beaumont and Partners, Beaumont and Angus Construction, Beaumont Latest Property Management, Beaumont Sourcing and Acquisitions. So it's Beaumont basically. Yes, and we documented everything on the YouTube channel. I think we all here are quite active. We're all quite active on socials. Yeah, we filmed from the first project really up until now, and that is myself.